Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It was Fulham 1, it was Liverpool 1, and it was just horrible. Horrible. I mean, it could have been worse. Let's treat that as our jumping in point, really. We are going to be reading through some of your reactions to this game. So if you are a member here on YouTube, you can use the members only chat. Just write Mate first, and then you comment, and I know you're talking to me. I'll dive over to Twitter, and then I'll jump back into the members only chat. So yeah, if you want to sign up to a membership here on YouTube and get involved with that, then you can do. I'll give you a few minutes to get involved with that. But first comment comes from Scott Hawks. It says, man of the match. He says probably Taki, Nico or Alisson, which says a lot. We looked like a bunch of players hoping not to have to do a lot to keep things in reserve for Spurs. Fulham were excellent. I think that last point is really important because people talk about the mentality of the squad, but I just think we've come close to breaking point a few times in recent weeks. That tipping point of when you lose one too many players, having that insurance policy of being able to rotate the front three. And I think genuinely Salah was not meant to figure in this game, which is funny because obviously he, without Mo Salah, we, in that performance, I don't think we come out with anything. In fact, I know we don't come out with anything because it's at least 1-0 to Fulham. But yeah, I just wonder whether that's it, because we were saying it. Look at that 11. How is that not the 11 that starts against Spurs? And unfortunately, that might not even be, and that's because Matip's gone off injured now, and I do wonder whether that's played into the minds. Now, there's mitigating circumstances, and I've got some comments about that over on Twitter, which I want to get into. Because, yeah, I think that the circumstances contributed to Liverpool's downfall a little bit in this. Fulham have not been great. I think we all looked at Fulham as a bit of a dead rubber, but I looked at that and I can't understand why Fulham are down there. The teams we've struggled against, there have been a lot of that, where they've got a lot of men behind the ball, they've been very well organised, they've been very well drilled, and then they've got lots of pace going the other way, which can cause any team problems. And that's kind of what that felt like. They're the teams that have caused us the most bother this season, really, and we've definitely got away with one. But in terms of man of the match, let us know your thoughts on this one at home, people, because I actually quite like the Scott's given Taki a mention, because I'm seeing a lot of negative comments about his performance, and I wouldn't say it was a Taki Minamino performance for the ages by any stretch, but I also the players who performed far worse than Minamino on the day. He barely warrants conversation, to be honest. But I agree. I think the shout for Nico, I thought he was brilliant when he came on, and Alisson Becker probably gets man of the match, to be fair, because if he's not in that kind of form, that's what, 3-0, 4-0, we get battered if Alisson's not absolutely switched on in that game. In particular, the one from close range, which then gets headed straight over the bar afterwards, is a really good game indeed. The Invader 97 says, what does Thiago need? I'll give it to him. Spare tibia, fibula, ligaments. Yeah, I'm sure we all have the equivalent of a GoFundMe, where we all get to throw all the body parts into a bin that he needs, and whichever ones he wants, he can just take and run with them. That'd be great. Christopher Feidler says we literally won't have a squad left by the end of the season. Yeah, it's interesting. JJ Kachu joins us as a first team member. I mean, well, thank you so much for joining us and having a wonderful name as well. Cop to blame for playing Trent and Salah full game on Wednesday when there was absolutely no need. Was there no need? This is the thing I have with this, because I can understand the criticisms of playing Jota. So I think we're allowed to say we shouldn't have played Jota because Jota's now injured. But if you don't play Jota, Salah has to play. So I don't like the Salah thing. It's just if Shaqiri's fit, I think it's a different situation. It's not, and Klopp wants to put out a side. Whatever. Let's just say it was stupid to play them, because I don't actually disagree. But I also understand that there's a degree to which only so many football players can play in a match, or only so many footballers can therefore not play in a match. Sorry, Cy Banster makes a great comment here. He says, mate, for me it was Curtis Jones who stood out, especially in the second half. Sorry, you're right. Actually, I completely overlooked that. Yeah, Curtis Jones, of the outfield players, Curtis Jones was man of the match. I think it's between him and Alisson Becker for man of the match. And yeah, JJ He's also saying here, Curtis Jones, man of the match by a mile. The Invader 97 saying the same. And Young King just saying, wow, presumably. It's fine. Right, we're going to dive over to Twitter. So YouTube members have got a few seconds to get the comments in. If you want to join up any tier of membership, or get your access to that comment section. Yes, let's go over then. So the Cinesinge 35 says, on the basis of that dire performance, you have to be grateful with a point. Nowhere close to deserving 3. Just not happening for us away from home. A bit worrying. That's it. 7 points now taken on the road this season puts us well in the bottom half for away form. It's something that definitely needs figuring out, and the fact that we're now starting to get fans back in grounds is not something that's going to make those situations easier. The one thing that might help is that next time out for Palace, it's now a known thing. Going Fulham we saw it. The charge that having your own fans back for the first time gives you can be a very, very good thing indeed. So yeah, definitely didn't play into our hands today, certainly. Abstruzel says, I know everyone loves the whole mentality monsters thing, LFC players included, but if we considered maybe not coming out flat for the first 45 to 60 minutes, unable to complete a pass longer than 3 yards until we're a goal down to relegation fodder, why don't we try that? Why don't we mix things up? We have had a lot of these performances this season, and it's mad that I can compare to the last 2 seasons, we've put far more poor or subpar performances in this season. And it's mad that we are where we are in the league, and it's probably, maybe we're just being a bit lucky that the rest of the league's a bit crap this year, because I think if Man City were close to being the Man City that we fought for the 2 seasons, this league would be done and dusted. Liverpool last season, or the season before, or City of those 2 seasons, or 3 seasons of City, have absolutely pissed this league by now. So that's weirdly a note of encouragement, but we've just got to hope we've got enough players fit enough to capitalise on it when, in the next month, 6 weeks or whatever, when everyone else is playing lots of games, we've got to hope that we're still capable of putting players on the pitch. AJ Pawani, this was similar to the performance at Villa. Our away form has been absolute garbage this season. Alisson and Jones are the only positives. Lucky to get away with a point here. Need a drastic improvement against Spurs and in other away league games. I mean, in some regards, yeah, very fortunate the Spurs game is at home. The first half against Aston Villa, we were well better than the first half in this game, but obviously when the game we absolutely get run away with, it's dead and buried by that point, and it's encouraging that when Liverpool go for, when we get a slice of luck with the penalty. It's mad. It's genuinely mad. They should have a penalty which gets overturned, because if you're not going to look at it, when whatever, we can all say the referee's missed a very tight one. If you're going to look at it, it's a foul, it's a penalty, and then for them to score when it's clearly a shove in the back on Salah, that should be pulled back, and then for us to get the penalty when it's 10 yards away, it's blasted at the wall, and it's just, oh yeah, well whatever, I'm going to take it. But I was encouraged that Liverpool pushed on and looked a little bit more like they wanted to win the game, which was, we're talking small margins here, to be perfectly honest. Uncle Chick says, first half was really awful. Ali did great work back there. Second half was magnificent. It's just that we couldn't turn it into goals. Then Curtis Jones was absolutely stunning. That run from Kurt Jones, by the way, where he slalomed through the whole team, like that's he's due a goal like that. I think he's definitely got one of them in his locker, where he's obviously got the long range shooting. He knows how to find the back of the net. He's got a few goals for us already, which is great. But I could see that's the kind of player that we need in these kind of games, I think, when it gets a little bit stretched, and just someone to have the bravery to carry the ball through the middle of the park. Yeah, really good. I mean, again, contextually, the second half, by comparison to the first half, yeah, magnificent, fine. In comparison to overall halves we've put in over the last few years, still a bit subpar, really. But at least we played football. We passed it to other Liverpool players. We created opportunities. We had shots on goal, which were all almost entirely lacking in the first half. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for that comment, to be fair. Rome Voice, only Curtis can hold his head high after that shit show. I lost count of the amount of shite crosses put in by Robbo, Hendo, amongst others. Origi's attitude stunk again. In those circumstances, a draw is welcomed. Yeah, fair enough. Derek Kenny, Jones and Alisson played well. The rest was septic. Injuries are killing us. No game changes to bring on. It's going to be a long season. Absolutely. Sol Taibi. Sad to say, but Minamino really doesn't look up to the speed of English footy. They were all bad today, but he can't seem to do it. But it was all tits up. Yeah, like I said this at the start of the show, I think it's a little unfair to single Minamino out in any negative sense when, like, Sadio Mane was awful today. awful. There's a couple of moments when he got the ball and he drove out and he looked a bit like Mane, but now, I mean, I don't even know how many games that is without a goal. Is it 10? Is it at least 10 since he scored a goal for us? He's been poor for a while now, but his performances have still been there, so it's not mattered. But if you're not going to perform and not score, then yeah, these lads are all playing a lot of footy, and this is one thing that's notwithstanding. You know, we're only a few days away from feeling super light and positive around everything, so it shouldn't be totally lost. But the Minamino stuff, on the balance of things, he came in, he did a lot of what he did in the midweek. He came in, he buzzed around, he played further up the field, he allowed us to get more body, he contributed towards us having more dominance in that second half, but I wouldn't say it was like an 8 or 9 performance out of Minamino. It was just a fine substitute appearance. Okay, Paul Dowie says, unfortunately, this is what success means. Fulham week off, on TV, fans back, like a cup final, LFC just a yard off, but a point playing that badly, maybe we got away with it. I think that that might be my comment of the day, to be honest, there from Paul Dow. Yeah, I can't disagree with all of that. As I say, it feels like excuse making sometimes, but inevitably it's 11 lads, 11 footballers. I think we look at Fulham and we see we remember the Fulham that came up last time and were terrible and went straight back down again, and they might well do this time around, except I'm not sure, because I think there's a few teams just much worse at the moment. But again, I looked at the way they played and I looked at the way they were set up. They got a good goalkeeper. They got some resolute defenders. They got loads of tricky, pacey players. Loads of place on the counter attack that are good. They can play good football as well. They were decent. And again, don't underestimate the power of them being in front of their fans and wanting to put on a show and wants to prove it. Look, they've not seen those fans since they got promoted. They've not been able to celebrate the same as us, doing the, you know, bring on the champions kind of stuff. They've wanted to see them in front of it, and maybe that gives them the extra 5-10%, and maybe it damages Liverpool 5-10%, in addition to a whole host of factors. That not playing for a week thing is a thing as well. You know, Klopp made mention of it. You focus on the Premier League now. Well, we're still in the Champions League cycle. This is still the back end of a Champions League week, and next week's another week with 2 games. If we can get through, if we somehow manage to get 6 points out the next 2 games, massive, absolutely massive. Hopefully this kind of performance and result is something that gives them the prerequisite boot up the arse that they need without actually taking a defeat to do it. Because again, getting a point, the trick is to make it a point earned. Rather than a part of a deep-rooted problem where Liverpool are falling apart, really. Young Kings and Spurs are coming back to hurt us. Maybe. That Spurs game has got draw written all over it in the current form for us. But yeah, we'll absolutely see it. JJ Catcher saying they're really bricking it from Son and Kane at Anfield. If we go down a goal early, then on the counter-attack, it could be a thrashing. Yeah, but vice versa. Yeah, again, it's Tottenham. They look loads better this season. They look very well positioned to capitalise. But my point on this, and I would say, and I was talking to Chris about this beforehand, Tottenham don't look like they don't look like champions in the making, like they're going to go and walk this league by any stretch. They look like the team best capitalised to strike should Liverpool fuck it up. Is my take, and that's very Liverpool biased, of course it is, but it does very much feel like that way. But yeah, it makes it a massive game in midweek regardless, and it was an opportunity for Liverpool to capitalise, and we're not used to, for the last couple of seasons, Liverpool not quite capitalising, but in years prior to that, what we were used to is this would be a chance where Liverpool would fail to capitalise on an opportunity to get into the top 4, and as it is, we're level on points at the top of the table. So, you know, if you're gonna be poor and not lose ground. Be poor and maintain a par is the one major takeaway positive from that game for me, anyway. But yeah, it is what it is. Look, I'll be back in about half an hour's time with the Instant Match Reaction with Chris Pajak. If you want to get involved with that show, you can. If you want to leave your player ratings, you want to vote for the ratings, yeah, it's a time to get all your anger, aggression, and throw some really terrible numbers at football players. By all means, do stay tuned this stream. If you just want to stay tuned on the channel right where you are, it should follow straight into Chris's show. Just hang fire while we get them all set up in location, and then yeah, we'll be back very shortly with that. In the meantime as well, the t-shirt behind me you can see is a signed Jordan Henderson Champions t-shirt. If you want to be within a chance to win that, sign up to the redmentv.com's Club Legend tier. Get access to our wonderful suite of content that we've got there, covering covering everything from Liverpool, interviews, documentaries, and of course post-match reaction and news and all the kinds of stuff that you need to be a Liverpool fan in this modern day, in video and in podcast form. And yes, enter our prize draw competition to win a signed Jordan Henderson Champions tee as well. What more could you want in this festive period? A Liverpool win would be helpful, but I can't give you that. But I can give you a chance to win a signed Jordan Henderson Champions t-shirt. Go to theredmentv.com, sign up, and yes, we will see you there, and we'll see you very shortly. Ta-ra.